A very good afternoon and welcome to chemistry department. Myself Mayank Sharma. Before going to start my PhD Viva Voice presentation, I would like to welcome respected examiner Professor Vineet Kumar sir, FRI Dehradun.
सर उसका बंद हो.
Respected head sir, Professor Anil Mishra, respected supervisor Dr. Desh Deepak sir, all respected teachers and scholars of chemistry department, Lucknow University. My PhD title is Structure Elucidation of Milk Oligosaccharide by 2D NMR and Mass Spectrometry. This is introduction. What is milk? Milk is essentially an emulsion of fat and protein in water, along with carbohydrate, mineral and vitamins. The constituents present in the milk varies from one species to another and within the species. What is milk oligosaccharide? Mammalian milk contain up to 10% of disaccharide. Hello? Mammalian milk contains up to 10% of carbohydrate, of which disaccharide lactose is prominent one. Milk and colostrum also contain lesser amount of other saccharide known as milk oligosaccharide, of which lactose present at the reducing end along with blue, galnac, glucose or sialic acid are attached to it. Why we have chosen milk? Milk is the only food which have no side effect. Even newborn babies can consume it without having any side effects, and even they have least immunity power. With the advent of science, glycobiologist and glycochemist together thought there must be a scientific relation between milk oligosaccharide and the development biology of any newborn species. The advantages of cow milk: great source of calcium, vitamin, protein, potassium and various nutrients. It is essential for bone health, muscle function and overall well-being. It also helps in lower fat, enhance immunity, prevent diabetes, help in heart disease, protect health diseases, assist weight loss, etc. It also acts as natural aphrodisiac, rejuvenates, increases life expectancy, and also help in assisting easy movement of intestine. It is also used in making dairy products like yogurt, cheese, butter, etc. Why we have chosen Tharparkar cow milk? It is very strong and hardy animal, known for its milking and drought potential. They are very well adapted to extreme climatic conditions and feed scarcity of their home tract. It contains probiotic properties that enhance the body disease resistance capabilities. It also contains high level of omega-3 fatty acids and calcium, which help strengthen mental disorders and bones. These are the various steps to isolate novel milk oligosaccharides. As you can see, the first step is the collection and preservation, in which we collected milk from Tharparkar cow and add equal amount of alcohol as a preservative. The second step is isolation with the help of modified method of Kubota-Jesber. The third one is the purification with the help of column chromatography, TLC, etc. The fourth step is the structural characterization with the help of 1D, 2D NMR along with mass spectrometry, and the final, that is you can say achievement or conclusion, in which we have isolated 4 novel milk oligosaccharide obtained from Tharparkar cow milk. This is the methodology in which we have collected 10 liters of milk from Tharparkar cow and add equal amount of alcohol and then centrifuge it and filtered with the help of glassoon. We get lipid layer and supernatant. We just discarded the lipid layer and further proceed with the supernatant and again add alcohol ethanol as a preservative and then centrifuge it and filtered with the help of glassoon. We further get a supernatant and protein and lactose. We further discarded the protein and lactose and further proceed with the supernatant and then filter through a microfilter to remove the minute remaining lactose and then lyophilize it. We get lyophilized material which were fractionated on the Cephalex G25 column, diluted with triple distilled water with a flow rate of 3 ml per minute, and then the fraction were analyzed for sugar test for biphenol sulfuric acid present. The carbohydrate containing fractions were cooled, lyophilized and analyzed by SPLC. In analytical SPLC, the carbohydrate fractions were eluted with triple distilled water containing 1.1% trifluoroacetic acid and acetonitrile with a flow rate of 1 ml per minute to check homogeneity of the oligosaccharide mixture. The elution was monitored by UV absorbance at 220 nanometer. Further, we go for chemical transformation, or you can say distillation, in which we use acetic anhydride and pyridine and convert it into less polar, non-polar acetyl derivative, which resolved nicely on TLC and further separated with the help of column chromatography, and we get acetyl pure milk oligosaccharide derivatives, which are further deacetylated with the help of acetone and ammonium hydroxide. The ammonia was removed under reduced pressure and the compound was washed with chloroform and was finally freeze dried to get natural oligosaccharides. For structural characterization of natural milk oligosaccharide, we have done 1D NMR, 2D NMR and mass spectrometry. In 1D NMR, we have done 1H and 13C NMR spectrum. In 2D, we have done HSQC, TOFC, COSY, HMVC. And for mass spectrometry, we have done electron spray ionization mass spectrometry. This is the name of oligosaccharide, or you can say oligoglycoside, which we isolated from Thalparker-Bromyl, namely parcoside, tyroside, caroside, or caroside. The novelty of the compound isolated from Thalparker-Bromyl, the oligosaccharides which are reported here from Thalparker-Bromyl were found in the form of methyl glycoside. Moreover, the oligosaccharide obtained from other milks, animal milks, were found in the form of reducing form. Further, we go for structural characterization of oligosaccharides from Thalparker-Bromyl. As you can see, this is compound parcoside, and this is 1H NMR spectrum of parcoside acetate. 1H NMR tells about the number and nature of proton. As you can see, the anomeric proton region of sugar moieties. For S1, the proton signal at 4.38 having 7.8 Hz coupling constant. For S2, the proton signal at 4.31 at coupling constant 7.5 Hz. For S3, 4.26 proton signal having 7.5 Hz coupling constant, and for S4 moiety, the proton signal at 5.43 and having coupling constant 4.5 Hz. This is carbon 13 spectrum of parcoside acetate, and carbon 13 NMR tells about the number of carbon atom present in the particular moiety, or you can say in the compound. This is an anomeric proton carbon signal of sugar moieties. The S1 the carbon signal of S1 moiety at 101.93, the carbon signal at for S2 moiety at 101.73, for S3 moiety 104.07, and for S4 moiety 90.18. This is 1H NMR spectrum of parcoside in vitro, and you can see the NMR signal for S1 moiety at 4.28 with 7.2 Hz coupling constant, for S2 moiety 4.28 with 7.2 Hz coupling constant, for S3 moiety so 4.16 and with 7.3 Hz coupling constant, and for S4 moiety 5.22 coupling constant having a proton signal at 5.22. This is HSQC spectrum of parcoside acetate. HSQC tells about the number of monosaccharide units present in a particular moiety or a particular compound, and you can also know about the anomeric cross peaks of anomeric carbon and proton of the monosaccharides, and you can see the cross peaks of anomeric proton and carbon for all the sugar moieties. Further, this is TOFC spectrum. TOFC spectrum tells about the all proton signal present in a particular monosaccharide unit, and you can see there are 4 monosaccharide units, and all the proton data is reported here. Further, this is COSY spectrum. The COSY spectrum tells about all the sequencing of protons in a particular monosaccharide unit, and you can see all the data of protons, and you can see this is S1 moiety. As you can see, this is S1 moiety, and all the protons are connected to each other you can see this is H1H 4.38, H2 5.20, S3 4.90, and H4 3.82. Similarly for other sugar monosaccharide units. This is HMBC spectrum of parcoside acetate, and HMBC spectrum tells about the glycosidic linkage between two monosaccharides units. And you can see in this parcoside acetate there is 4 sugar moiety is present, and it means there is 3 glycosidic linkage present between 4 sugar moieties. You can see the cross peaks of anomeric proton and carbon data along with the linkage region. This is ESMS spectrum of parcoside. You can see the mass fragmentations, and this is mass fragmentation of compound parcoside with some mass fragmentation of parcoside. And finally, after the using spectra and mass spectrometry, the structure elucidated is this, in which you can see there at the reducing end, OCS3 is present, which tells about its methyl glycoside form, and the structure name or the compound name is parcoside. And you can see this is the 3D structure of compound parcoside. Similarly, I have also elucidated the structure of rest compounds.
Next.
Yes, sir. This is compound to thyroside, and you can see 1H NMR spectrum of thyroside acetate. And yes, sir. As you can see, firstly we go for in the HMBC for the OCS3 group, and you can see here methoxy peak at 3.58. We further go for this cross peak, and further go for go in HSQC. This is the methyl glycosidic range from where we started in the HMBC. Three, sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. This is compound thyroside 1H NMR spectrum, and this is the anomeric proton signal of sugar moieties having coupling constants. This is carbon 13 spectrum of thyroside acetate. Okay, sir. This is proton signal for S1 moiety at 4.52 having coupling constant 8.1 Hz. For S2 moiety, the proton signal at 4.42 having coupling constant 8.0 Hz. For S3 moiety, the proton signal at 4.41 having coupling constant 8.1 Hz. The S4 moiety proton signal at 5.72 having coupling constant 7.8 Hz. And for S5 moiety, the proton signal at 5.72 having 7.8 Hz coupling constant. This is carbon 13 spectrum of thyroside acetate, and this is the anomeric carbon signal for S1 moiety at 102.07, for S2 at 102.07, for S3 at 102.07, for S4 and S5 5.72. This is 1H NMR spectrum of thyroside in D2O having proton signal for S1 at 4.12 at 7.8 Hz, for S2 4.12 at 7.8 Hz, for S3 4.12 at 7.8 Hz coupling constant, for S4 5.45 having coupling constant 7.4 Hz, and for S5 5.45 having coupling constant 7.4 Hz. This is HSQC spectrum having a numeric cross peak at 4.52 into 102.07, 4.42 into 102.07, 4.41 into 102.07, 5.72 into 92.14 and 5.72 into 91.67. This is toxicity spectrum having proton value of S1 at 3.92, 4.52, 5043 and 5.44. And for S2, 3.92, 4.09, 4.42, 5.02. For S3, 3.84, 4.41, 5.02 and 5.44. For S4, the 3.84, 5.02, 5.44 and 5.72. For S5, 5.02, 5.22, 5.44 and 5.72. For COSY spectrum, for S1 moiety, the proton signal at 4.52, 5.44, 5.03 and 3.09. For S2, 4.42, 4.09, 3.92, 5.02. For S3, 4.41, 5.44, 3.84, 5.02. For S4, 5. Yes, sir.
सबसे अच्छा रहता है आपने स्पेक्ट्रम लिखा हो तो पता चले S1 कहाँ है, S2 कहाँ है, S3 कहाँ है। अदरवाइज आपको तो मालूम है, तो जिनको आप बता रहे हो उनको तो सोचना पड़ेगा ना।
Yes, sir.
और स्पेक्ट्रम बात रहा होना चाहिए।
When you just set the interpretation,
और ये कोई जो है
you
ना,
start from the methoxy, then you go through the HMBC, and further how you are telling something better. आप बताइए नहीं, you are not explaining that.
फर्स्ट कंपाउंड को मैं पूरा
पर methoxy का नाम ही नहीं किया. How do you confirm with your HMBC? कि पहले यहाँ पे लगा कुछ का ये आया, you never told कि यहाँ पे 3.8 होता है, वहाँ पे लिंकेज इंडिया ने आपने बताया भी, बताइए उसको अगले कंपाउंड में. What do you tell you?
ये नहीं कह रहा है, वो कह रहा है S1 का स्ट्रक्चर होगा तो उससे मालूम
तो है बना हुआ स्ट्रक्चर तो है.
हाँ
स्ट्रक्चर दिखाओ ना.
हाँ पूरा अपना समझना तो लेकिन से स्ट्रक्चर कहाँ है
ये है.
ये बता दो.
Sir, this is the structure. As you can see, at the reducing end, OCS3 group is present.
मेरा पर्पस सिर्फ जानकारी लेना है, आपने पूरा काम किया है, तो रिलैक्स।
Okay, sir. This is the structure in S1 moiety. The OCS3 group is present at the reducing end, and for this we firstly go to the 1HNMR spectrum. As you can see, there is a peak at 3.54 for OCS3 group. Further from HNMR we go for HMBC spectrum. In HMBC spectrum we find a signal of 3.5 having a numeric carbon at 102, approx 102, and then we further go for HSQC spectrum. In 1HSQC spectrum, this is the numeric first carbon, first sugar moiety and 102 point, and further from 102 we find the numeric proton signal at 4.52. For S1 moiety, this is the S1 moiety. The numeric proton signal at 4.52, and then after seeing the numeric proton signal we go for toxi, and at 4.52 this is the numeric signal, and we draw a line and get all the proton signal at 4.52. You can see here 4.52, this is S2 proton signal for S1, this is S3 proton signal for S1, and this is S4 proton signal at S1. And similarly for other sugar moieties, the proton signal we get from toxi spectrum, and after getting this proton signal of S1, S2, S3 and S4, we go for COSY spectrum, which tells about the sequencing. For S1 moiety, you can see the H1 is 4.52, this is 4.52, and further go for S2 moiety, which is adjacent to or attached to S1 moiety, H1 moiety of H1 signal of S1. This is S2. Further we go for S3 of S1, and and move left side and found the H3 signal of S1, and further we go for H4 proton signal of S1 moiety, and we go for upper side and we get this H4 proton signal at S1 moiety at 3.92. 3.92 is the linkage region, from where we go for the other sugar moiety connecting link, and further after getting 3.92 we go for HMDC, and so on we get the linkage of other sugar moieties in a similar way. This is the HMDC spectrum, and you can see the linkage of monosaccharide units to each other. This is ESMS spectrum of thyroxide. This is mass fragmentation of compound thyroxide, and finally the structure of thyroxide, and this is 3D structure of thyroxide.
एक बार आप इस IMS का presentation भी explain करो.
In mass spectrum of mass fragmentation of compound thyroxide, the molecule dissociate from the reducing end of sugar moiety. The molecule dissociate from non-reducing end. You can see the S5 moiety is dissociated from the S5 oligosaccharides, or you can say the compound, having this tetrasaccharide, and then S4 moiety dissociate from non-reducing end, and we get trisaccharide having mass to charge ratio at 558, and then S3 moiety reduced from non-reducing end, and we get disaccharide having mass to charge ratio at 396, and further S2 moiety get reduced from non-reducing end, having S1 moiety having mass to charge ratio 194. This is the sum mass fragmentation. As you can see, the CHO moiety or OH or CH2OH, CHO also dissociate or H2O by the fragmentation way. This is the main fragmentation. 883 to reduce 720, and then 558, then 396, and then 194. From
mass spectrum में ये वैल्यू mass की तरफ जाइएगा. mass spectrum. Next है ना mass spectrum. Yes, I am.
मास स्पेक्ट्रम खोलो.
this is the mass spectrum. This is the mass fragmentations, or some mass fragmentation and mass fragmentation of monosaccharide, as well as the small molecules which get fragmented from the compound. This is the S1 moiety which are present at the reducing end 194. And you can see the 396 mass to charge ratio. This is present the disaccharide mass fragmentation of sugar moiety disaccharide 396, and then this is 558 for trisaccharides mass to charge ratio. As you can see, the 558 mass fragmentation here for trisaccharide, and then for tetrasaccharide 720 mass to charge ratio. Here 720 for the tetrasaccharide, and the main structure of compound having pentasaccharides mass to charge ratio 883, and here you can see 883 mass to charge ratio of pentasaccharide. Similarly, when CHO and OH dissociate from the pentasaccharides, we get mass to charge ratio of 837. Here there is mass to charge ratio 837. Similarly, when CH2OH or CHO dissociate from main molecule or oligosaccharide, we get 823 mass to charge ratio, and here 823 mass to charge ratio. Similarly, when water is dissociated from the 823 mass to charge ratio, we get 805 mass to charge ratio. Here we get 805 mass to charge ratio. Further, from 720, the CH2CO group dissociate, we get 678 mass to charge ratio. Here you get 678 mass to charge ratio. Similarly, when water removed from 720 mass to charge ratio, we get 702 mass to charge ratio. Similarly, this is the structure of thyroxide, and further the 3D structure of thyroxide. Further, this is compound 3 keroside, and you can see here 3.5 signal at 3.5 proton signal for methoxy. And from this 1H NMR spectrum, having this NMR value, numeric proton value at for S1 at 4.36 at 7.8 Hz, for S2 4.36 at 7.8 Hz, for S3 4.32 at 7.6 Hz, for S4 5.6 at 3.3 Hz coupling constant, for S5 5.68 numeric proton signal having a coupling constant 3.3 Hz. And by this NMR spectrum where we get the methoxy proton signal 3.50, we further go to HMBC. Here 3.5, and then we check the numeric proton signal, numeric carbon signal. We get numeric carbon signal at 102.17. Then we further go for HSQC. Here you can see this 102.17 numeric proton carbon signal, and this 102.17 carbon signal, numeric carbon signal for S1 YT. And from here we go for the numeric proton signal. We get a numeric proton signal at 4.36. Further we go for toxi, and at 4.36 we draw a line and get all the protons of a particular sugar moiety. As you can see, this is S2 for S1, this is S3 for S1, and this is S4 for S1. Further, we go for the POSI spectrum and sequencing. We have done sequencing for all protons of a particular sugar moiety. As you can see, this is S2 for S1 at 4. This is H1 4.36, and we draw a line and find this is S2 for S2 for S1 at 5.21. Further we move left or right. In this case we move from left side and we get S3 for S1 at 4.99, and then we move upward side or downward side, and here we move to upward side and we get H4 for S1. Similarly, for other moieties we have done same methods by going from HMBC to HSQC, then toxi, then POSI, and further HMBC, and finalize the structure of that particular compound. This is the HMBC spectrum. This is ESMS spectrum of keroside. In the similar way, you can see that this is pentasaccharide, and one monosaccharide unit dissociate from non-reducing end, and we get tetrasaccharide having mass to charge ratio at 721. And you can see here 721 the mass fragmentation, and further one more unit is dissociated from reducing end. We get tetrasaccharide having mass spectrum mass to charge ratio at 5.59. This is mass to charge ratio at 559. Further, one monosaccharide unit dissociated from non-reducing end, that is S3. We get disaccharide having mass to charge ratio 356, and you can see the value of 356 here. In the similar way, the S2 moiety get dissociated from non-reducing end, and we get the monosaccharide unit. You can say the S1 moiety having mass to charge ratio 194. You can see here 194 mass fragmentation, mass to charge ratio. Similarly, these are the mass fragmentations from main pentasaccharide molecule. There is dissociation of CHO and OH. We get 838 mass to charge ratio. Here 838 mass to charge ratio. And by dissociating CH2OH or CHO, we get mass to charge ratio 824. Here 824 mass to charge ratio is present. In the similar way, when S2 is dissociated from mass to charge ratio 824, we get 806 mass to charge ratio. Here you can see 806 mass to charge ratio. In the similar way, when CH2CO is dissociated, we get mass to charge ratio 679. Here 679 mass to charge ratio. In the similar way, all the fragmentation data is present in the ESMS spectrum. And this is the structure of caroside. And this is the 3D structure of caroside. This is the compound 4-arkeroside having an anomeric proton signal for S1 moiety at 4.27 at coupling constant 8.0 Hz, for S2 moiety at 4.48 having coupling constant 8.0 Hz, for S3 moiety 4.57 having coupling constant 8.1 Hz, for S4 moiety 4.99 proton signal having coupling constant 8.5 Hz, for S5 moiety 5.63 proton signal having coupling constant 8.0 Hz, for S6 moiety proton signal, anomeric proton signal like 4.53 having coupling constant 8.0 Hz, for S7 moiety 4.57 proton signal having coupling constant 8.1 Hz. And you can also see here the methoxy proton signal at 3.55. So in the similar way, we go for HMDC and get here the methoxy signal 3.50, and from here we get the anomeric carbon signal at 104.09 for S1 moiety. We further go for HSQC, and you can see at 104.09 this is S1 moiety anomeric carbon signal, and from which we get anomeric proton signal at 4.27. We go for toxic spectrum at 4.27. You can see here the S2 moiety, and then this is the S3 moiety, S3 proton for S1 moiety, and this is S4 proton for S1 moiety. And by getting this all protons information from a particular monosaccharide, we go for Cozy spectrum for sequencing of this proton signal, and you can see for S1 moiety, H1 proton signal at 4.27. We further go to upward side and get S2 proton signal for S2 moiety, S1 moiety, and further we go for right side. We get a proton signal of S3 moiety, S3 proton signal for S1 moiety, and further upward to get S4 proton signal for S1 moiety. And then further we gave S4 moiety, S4 proton signal for this moiety at 3.79, which is the linkage region. So we go for HMDC and further proceed the same way, which I have earlier described. This is HMBC spectrum having a numeric value of cross peak with the linkage of all the sugar moieties. This is ESMS spectrum of archaeosite and all the fragmentations. This is the mass fragmentations in which the sugar moiety get reduced from non-reducing end. This is S1 is reduced. We get hexasaccharide. Then S6 is reduced. We get pentasaccharide. Then S5 is reduced. We get tetrasaccharide. Then S4 is reduced from non-reducing end. We get trisaccharide. And then S3 moiety is reduced from non-reducing end. We get disaccharide. And in the similar way, we get the basic structure of, or you can say, the monosaccharide unit, having OCS3 group present at the non-reducing end. This is the submass fragmentation of compound archaeosite. This is the structure of compound archaeosite, having OCS3 is present, and you can see in 1H NMR spectrum, the OCS3 group signal is present at 3.5. And this is the 3D structure of archaeosite. And the conclusion, it is first time reported that all the oligosaccharide obtained from Parker cow milk were found in the methyl glycoside form. I am thankful to Professor Anil Misra, Head, Department of Chemistry, for providing me NMR facility as well as lab facility, for CSIR New Delhi, for providing me financial assistance, for CBMR Lucknow, for providing me MR facility, and CDRI Institute Lucknow for providing me mass facility. These are the list of research papers published during PhD tenure. And this, I am also thankful to. Yes, sir. Publications. Okay, sir. सर इसका 0.86. These are list of conferences attended. This slide, sir.